I'm Taylor Garron, and if you're gonna hook up in the woods, put your phone on airplane mode. I was in high school. One of the privileges that seniors at my high school had was that you could get an internship that would get you out of the last period of class and also lunch if you wanted. I did want. And it wasn't for any nefarious purpose at first. I got an internship at this local newspaper. It was very cute. I actually spent most of my time writing obituaries. Now that I'm saying it out loud, not as glamorous. I also was like kind of an emo kid, like listened to a lot of Taking Back Sunday. Writing obituaries was very on brand for me. I thought it was cool, it was not. I spent the whole of my high school career being an incredible overachiever. Student advisory council, drama club, show choir, international club, very Catholic. Let's just say that I wasn't a cool kid. I also was a mega virgin. This kind of speaks back to the Catholic thing. That was like what my friends knew me for. Then I discovered weed. Then I discovered that I want to have sex with boys. There was a local college in one town over. My dad actually worked on campus, which made the fact that I started dating a guy who was a freshman a little tricky for me because I couldn't sleep at his dorm room without having to sneak around and not run into my dad. You know what I mean? One time we went to the school cafeteria. I was there in my boyfriend's sweatpants and sweatshirt from the night before. My dad walked by, we ducked under a table. It worked out, he didn't see me. Maybe he didn't, he just pretended not to. Thanks, Dad. So we came up with a plan. We were gonna hook up and we were gonna figure out a place to do it. Obviously couldn't do it at my house. His Volkswagen was not going to work. Couldn't do it in his dorm room on campus. We eventually settled on the woods. It's got everything. Really uncomfortable leaves and sticks on the ground. A great place to smoke really shitty weed. That was pretty much it, but it was basically a place that we could be alone. I decided that I was going to both skip lunch and skip my internship by calling into my boss. I'm really, really sorry I left school early today. I'm just like not feeling well. I was in the drama club. This is the most scandalous thing that I'd ever done. Who was I? And I did it anyway. I feel a little bad about that now that I'm saying it out loud, but that is the Catholicism and I'm trying to repress it. So I called in sick, it all worked out. My boyfriend picked me up from school and we drove into the woods in the next town over. He had rolled a joint shittily. Weed, I remember very vividly being just awful. And I just started smoking weed, so I really had no kind of metric, but we were being bad. And then we got down to business. We started hooking up, to say the least. We're rolling over sticks. My Catholic upbringing, the guilt was coursing. We're crunching leaves, yada, yada, yada. Eventually, we're done. We smoke a little bit more weed and we head out of the woods. And I realized that I had a bunch of missed calls, one message from my boss telling me to call her back. And it had turned out I had called the newsroom repeatedly during, with my ass. I was shocked. Of all of the places I could have butt dialed, Domino's Pizza, my parents' house, President of the United States, the one place I would have gotten through was this newsroom. Journalists answered the phone, good ones. And mine were just great. And they took the calls, they all listened.
Sticks, crunching weed, yada, yada, yada.
They pieced together what was going on my sick day, like a good journalist would, and I do respect them for that. At this point, the high is completely gone. My boyfriend was stoned, he didn't care. Now I'm thinking, oh fuck, I let this college freshman take away my chances of college. Like, what was I thinking? I was already in the headspace of writing obituaries. I thought about writing my own. My life was over. Everything that I had worked for as an overachiever of years was gone in this moment. I could see my future dissolving before me. And that's the long-term thing. Short term, I could see myself getting fired from this internship and not being able to graduate high school because I didn't have enough credits. I went to the newsroom the next day and entered to just a cacophony of laughter. Very embarrassing, humiliating. I did a reverse walk of shame into my boss's office. I sat down, she told me how disappointed she was in me, and then she told me that if I ever needed to take a mental health day, a sick day, just a day off, that I could totally just come to her and say that, which would have been super helpful 24 hours previous. To make matters worse, my mom, small town, knew everyone in my city. Guess who she knew especially well because she went to our Catholic church? My boss in the newsroom. I never found out if my dad actually knew. Thank you, Dad, for pretending you didn't know if you did. In the end, what did I learn? Because this is an internship and you're supposed to learn. If you're going to hook up with a college dude in the woods, make sure that your phone is elsewhere. If you're going to get an internship in your hometown where your mom knows everybody, make sure that you don't do something that your mom would find out from everybody. And that it turns out middle-aged obituary writers, actually pretty cool, I guess.